Hi, my name is Fredrik Schmidt. I'm a 50-year-old athletic person from Sweden. The purpose of my visit to Chennai is I needed a hip surgery, and the offer I got from here, from the SIMS hospital and Mr. Vijay Bose, was that I could have a hip resurfacing instead, like in Sweden, a total replacement, which would restrict my moving and my activities quite seriously. So I chose this hospital because of the assurance I got from here that I could continue with my active life. Which was very surprising for me was the first contact, the mail contacts with both Mr. Vijay Bose and Mr. Mohan, that I had such a quick response on every mail and on my questions I had. Also the assurance and how easy it was for me to come here to Chennai, arriving at the airport, getting picked up, being placed here in this Raffles ward, and with everything already in place and the perfect service all done here the first day I came here. The difference between the clinic here in Chennai and those clinics I have seen in Sweden was directly that my movements, with the treatments in Sweden, my movements would be generally much poorer in the future. And the treatment promised me here in Chennai with the resurfacing technique that told me that after the time needed for recuperating, I would be going back with full activity like I have done before, maybe even better. So the difference in technique and how they were to go about with the operation was the absolutely utmost answer for me to come here and to decide that I would have the treatment here in Chennai and not in Sweden. The most important thing for me, as for very active people, we function a little bit different than normal person in this case. For us it is very important that the doctor says to you, you will go back to things you have been doing before. That was the first answer I got from Mr. Vijay Bose, that there will be no restrictions. And of course I only have been talking to him through emails, but once I arrived here in Chennai and I met him for the first time, upon meeting him, I decided first that the operation will be done here, because I had made assurances that if the doctor I meet would not be up to my standards, I will not have the operation here. But his personality was absolutely the main key for me that I had the operation done, because he was outgoing and he was a fun person to talk to with good assurances, and that was very important to me. The best experience at the hospital was that, except from doctors, all the other staff around here has been so caretaking. It was more like pampering. You felt like a little baby with all your needs fulfilled. So when I should go to X-ray or ultrascan or everything else, they picked me up, brought me there, brought me back, asked me all the time how I'm feeling, if I am in pain, if I would need anything else, house cleaning, delivery of newspaper, specially made coffee after my tastes. It was like better than being at home. So I can only say it was the utmost best experience being at the hospital. When you look to all the services given around the medical treatment. It was very funny to wake up in the recovery room and not experiencing any pain at all. And you felt you had something on your left side of your leg, but there was no pain. There was nothing from previous operation I've done on my leg with other injuries. You wake up after operation and there it was, pain, intense and so on. But nothing, absolutely nothing. And the nurses at the recovery came and very rewarding, wanted something to eat, something to drink, gave me medication afterwards. And already there also the physio came and he wanted me to stand up. Directly after coming into recovery, he wanted me to stand up with the walking stool, and I said, my God, how is this going? But yes, I could feel that I had not the power in my leg, but it's still responding. I felt the contact with the floor, and I could stay and I could shift the weight over on my leg, and it was very, very surprising. It was very special experience, because I thought it would be completely different. It would be more painstaking waking up, but it was not at all. And also the natural course you have to take after surgery of relieving yourself and so on was no problem, passing and so. I had expected something different. So the experience of waking up after this surgery was completely different than I thought, completely. On the positive side, of course. One thing is definitely I could recommend to other Swedes or Scandinavians, Europeans to come here, to put the worries about India aside, and especially about this hospital, because it's not India who is actually operating on you, or I think, because you come to a professional place, and it doesn't matter that it's just a few more hours away and probably the clinic you would choose. My experience of this place, and should there ever be worries about my right hip, I would not hesitate a second, like I did for the first hip. I would order operation time directly at this clinic, and would have, in case it should happen, my other hip done. Most important thing is, if you're already in the stage that you know you need a hip replacement or a hip resurfacing, the most important thing is get in shape. See that you do your homework, you get a better and a fitter body, work with those muscles at hand on the hip to be operated, because it makes the whole thing so much easier for you to come back, to go into recuperation, to go on the rehab when you have a good functioning muscular group around your hip. Because even if the hospital personnel, the doctors, the technique, everything is perfect here, it's still your body they have to work on. And probably it's the one part which is what you call it, the lowest link, or which is to break easier. So prepare yourself when you know you got the appointment here. Prepare yourself body-wise, condition, muscular strength. That's the best thing you can do. Everything else, I have to say, leave it up to them. Don't worry, they take care of you. Everything from logistics to the operation itself, waking up, me being handled as a patient here was very, very rewarding for my own spirit, because you felt you are going to be taken care of, and your needs are fulfilled, and they're doing their utmost best for you. They have your health in full focus, and that I really felt. And I only can give the highest marks. 1 to 10 would be a 10, and 1 to 100 would be 100. So for everything, from picking up an airport and probably leaving me tomorrow at the airport again, is only a success. It has something in what I could say. I do not regret my first contact with Mr. Dr. Vijay Bose, because it has been an experience.